Hi, I'm Snez, personal trainer, healthy lifestyle coach, and your guide to feeling your best. This podcast is a segment from my weekly radio show, Wellbeing Wednesdays, broadcast live on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. It's all about sharing real, practical tips to help you move more, eat better, and live healthier without the overwhelm. Let's dive in, shall we? Now, this next segment was inspired by something that I heard and learnt about on the weekend. As I mentioned at the start of the program, I went out to the Australian Fitness Expo over the weekend and I sat in on a fantastic workshop by Dr. Marc Cohen, who is an expert in integrative medicine, and a concept that he shared really stood out. I thought, this is something I need to share on air, and it's called Hormesis. And while it might sound a little bit sciencey, I'm going to break it down because it's actually such a powerful idea, and it is that small, controlled doses of stress can actually make us stronger, healthier, and more resilient. So you've probably heard the phrase, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Well, Hormesis is basically the science behind that. It's the idea that small doses of stress, when applied in the right way, can actually trigger your body to become more resilient. Okay, so it's about having small doses of stress applied in the right way, which can actually trigger your body to become more resilient. So think about things like lifting weights, or going for a walk in a cold environment, or skipping a meal every now and then again, just so you can experience that hunger and your body's like, hang on, what's this? What's going on? Or getting into a sauna after a long day where you're experiencing that heat that is a little bit beyond our comfort zones at the moment. And it was really interesting because the way that Dr. Cohen explained it, he sort of referenced it as in finding the edge of your tolerance, and practice being relaxed when you're actually stressed, so that when you are relaxed, you can be relaxed and be more relaxed, I guess. So why is one of the reasons that Hormesis works? So it is so good for us because when your body experiences these little challenges, what it does is it kicks in all of its repair systems. So what it basically means is you get a reduction in inflammation. There's more efficient cellular cleanup. So what basically happens is your body just gets better at taking out the trash because it starts to think, okay, I need to really get things moving here because there's a stressor. We need to be at our optimum function to be able to deal with this. You develop a more robust immune system, and even protection against aging and disease occurs when we experience these little challenges that kick in all of the repair systems. And from all these simple things like a cold shower or an irregular fast every once in a while here and there. But the point is here, the key is that there's a balance. So there's a number of different ways that we can try this without any fancy equipment, because listening to Dr. Cohen, he was very much talking about saunas and cold plunge pools and just getting the right temperatures, and it was more education around delivering and offering that as a service. But for people at home just listening, there's a lot of ways that you can do it, and cold exposure is one of those ways. So you can start with a 30-second shower of cold at the end of every shower. This is something that I do. I did it this morning, and you'll hate me first for it, but you are going to feel quite amazing afterwards. Or heat therapy, if you have access to a sauna, it's incredible. If not, a hot bath with Epsom salts, which just feels that little bit too hot to handle, is a good start. Intermittent fasting, so no need to go hardcore with this one. Just try for dinner a bit earlier, breakfast out. Don't need to do this daily, but do it every once in a while where you do start to feel that uncomfortable level of hunger. And maybe you can do it through exercise, where you might do just a 4-minute burst that feels really quite intense and gets the puff up, and that can do absolute wonders for your body. So it's not about doing all of these things all the time and all at once, but it's about gently nudging your body with a little bit of stress so it adapts and it grows stronger over time. Now, The thing is, I think the most important thing is the missing half of this equation is recovery. So a way to really understand this, the importance of hormesis and putting ourselves into a little bit of discomfort, the part that is really important and relevant is that the recovery is even more important than the stress. So it's okay to do these things, but when we add in the recovery, this is where it really improves the benefit of doing these activities. So Dr. Marc Cohen called it forced mindfulness. And I really love that because it's like a cold shower or a long stretch. Then you bring yourself back to your body. It makes you pause, breathe, and check in. So once you do these activities, make sure that you do that recovery side, that pausing, that checking in with yourself and seeing how you feel. Because without proper recovery, all those healthy stress hormones just become, just more like unhealthy stress. So if we're going to add in some recovery, think about taking the time to stretch or going for a quiet walk or some meditation or reading a book instead of scrolling. And each of these things can come not only after our scheduled hormesis events, but also in stressful times throughout our day, or even if it's just sitting with a cup of tea. So something we don't talk enough about is recovery and thinking about how we can put recovery into our day-to-day. So the big takeaway is that hormesis is powerful, but only when it's paired with rest and recovery as well. So try this week adding one small change into your week that can give yourself time to also bounce back from as well. And you will feel quite different. Thanks for joining me on this segment from Wellbeing Wednesdays as heard live on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who might find it helpful and subscribe so you never miss a show. Want to catch the live broadcast? Well, you can tune in Wednesdays from 12 till 2 p.m. on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM or find my info on Wellbeing Wednesdays with Snez, the Facebook group. Take care, stay healthy, and remember, it's the little choices every day that create big changes. Talk soon.